Howdy folks, Spencer here with some good and bad news. As always, chapters to everything are listed down below. Starting with the good news, Black Friday is less than a week away, and in the lead up to it, a 20% Zen sale is now live on all platforms until December 1st at noon Pacific. For console players, this is a 20% discount on all but the 1000 and 5000 Zen packs. I don't know why those are excluded. If anyone has a good answer, please let me know in the comments below. And heading over to PC, the Epic Game Store features the same discount structure as console, with the $10 and $50 packs, again, being excluded from the sale. And for the Epic Game Store, on top of the 20% discount, they still have their 20% Epic Rewards running. That is going to get you 20% of your purchase back as Epic Rewards, which you can then use to buy more Zen or whatever else you want from the Epic Game Store. So for instance, I've got the 23,000 Zen bundle up here. That's $160 before tax. And if I go to buy now, what you'll see here in the checkout is it shows that I would get $32 of Epic Rewards, which again, I could use immediately to buy more Zen. Now, buying Zen via Epic is only available to those that natively play STO through the Epic Game Store, or those with Arc accounts that had linked their account over to Epic when it was possible a couple years ago. If your Arc account is not linked over to Epic, unfortunately, I'm not aware of any method that actually works to get your account linked over to Epic at this time. But if you are one of those lucky individuals able to acquire Epic Zen, I would greatly appreciate it if you could use my creator code CasualSAB at checkout. The funds from that greatly help me out. As for the other two PC launchers, Steam and Arc, those do not have a discount to the cost of the Zen packs. Rather, they get a charge bonus netting an additional 20% Zen from each pack. And unlike Epic and console, all price points on Arc are part of the sale, and I'm guessing that the same applies to Steam. And shifting over to the bad news, effective November 19th of 2025, value-added tax, or VAT, is now being applied to Zen purchases through Arc for all European Union countries, Norway, Georgia, and the United Kingdom. Prior to this, Arc had been paying VAT on behalf of players in those countries. Now, this is a recent change made above Deca and Cryptic said. The developers learned about it when players started to report it on the Discord. It was as much a surprise to them as it was to us. What this boils down to is Zen purchases in those countries now having around a 20% price increase when buying Zen via Arc. Now, I have seen some concerns about the legality of all this, as I've been told that over there in Europe they apparently require listed prices to include the VAT sales tax. But with this change, that is no longer the case, as you can't see the final price until you have entered your billing address in the checkout for it to load the correct taxes for your country. As an American, that's the shopping experience that I'm used to. We never see the final price until we have our billing info in for it to pull up the correct taxes for our state and county and all that. So if there is any legal issues around this, I'll leave that legal discussion up to those more familiar with European consumer protection laws. As an American, what are consumer protection laws? I don't know. Ultimately, what this means is that buying Zen on Arc in Europe just became much more expensive. If you have your account linked over to Epic or Steam, you should evaluate all of your options to figure out which platform has the best pricing for your country. As for Arc, this really should have been communicated ahead of time, and if this is going to remain, they need to ramp up the Zen sale values to compensate. 20% extra Zen with the sale doesn't make up for the packs, now being 20% more expensive for those of you in Europe. Moving forward, I understand if those of you playing via Arc in those countries don't put as much money in, the game just got 20% more expensive for you. Overall, this is a terrible situation for y'all across the pond. If you are impacted and not happy, drop your feedback in the Discord, but remember to be polite. This is not the developer's fault. They were in the dark as much as us on this one. Truthfully, given that this is a change that was done by suits higher up in the chain, it's unlikely to be reversed, but perhaps we can get some better Zen sales to make up for it. And shifting back over to the Black Friday expectations, up on screen are the sales that we saw in 2024. Now, I expect the remaining sales to start up early to middle of next week. If they were going to start as early as they did last year, they would have started up a couple days ago alongside the Zen sale. Now, a standard for Black Friday is 25% off everything in the Zen store, which is great for any non-bundle listings. Aside from that, I would not be surprised if we saw another 20% Lobby sale and a return of all Muds bundles to the store at a 50% discount. So that would be a Pick 3 choice pack for 14,750 Zen. Now, they could surprise us and also drop the Tier 6 coupon gift pack, which is a bundle of 3 100% Tier 6 coupons for just 4,500 Zen, with a limit of one purchase per account, but I don't have much confidence in that dropping with the sale. especially when we're only getting a 20% Zen sale this year compared to the 25% that we saw last year. And shifting over to December, I know some of you are wondering when the winter event is going to start up, which will have the next free event ship in it. And based on historical trends, my expectation is either December 2nd or December 9th. Now, as for the galactic winter events and sales that start up later in December, I've got some of the prior years up on screen now. So events wise, we're likely to see Dilithium and Phoenix events throughout the second half of December. And when it comes to a Zen sale, last year we had a 25% Zen sale, and for ARC users, they sent out a one-time use 15% discount code. I don't think we're going to see as good of a deal this time around, given that the Black Friday Zen sale was a bit weaker. And if they do send out a 15% discount code for ARC users again, that would be helpful, especially for those of you in Europe with the higher prices now. But if you have access to purchase your Zen on Epic, that is going to be a much better route to go. Aside from that, it could be as simple as 25% off the entire Zen store alongside that Zen sale and then nothing else. Or it could be like 2023, where we got a range of sales, including the 10th bundle returning for a brief time with a 35% legendary sale, 25% off keys and promo packs, and much more. So we'll have a better understanding about a week from now as to how crazy the sales are going to be at the end of the year. If the Black Friday sales next week are really slim, then chances are the winter sales will be also. Now, shifting away from Stow, I have some more bad news to share that you should be aware of. As we head into 2026, it appears that pricing for computers, PC parts, consoles, and many other electronics are likely to rise. As many of you know, AI has really screwed with the market, and it is now eating up a ton of supply for crucial parts like RAM. For instance, the 32GB RAM kit that you see on screen started the year at around $100, and it held that for most of the year. But in the past few weeks, following OpenAI announcing contracts to take 40% of the entire supply from various suppliers, that price has now skyrocketed, and as of right now, that kit that was $100 at the beginning of the year is now over $400. And sadly, there's no sign of these price increases slowing down from what I've seen. These RAM price increases are going to have a ripple effect on much of the market. GPU makers are already signaling that after the Black Friday and holiday sales, which they've already had scheduled, prices are going to go up. So if you were needing or planning to get any upgrades done or a new computer, I'd recommend you do so during the Black Friday sales next week, if you have the funds to do so. And if you're looking to save a bit more money online, I recommend you take a look at add-ons like Rakuten, which offer cashback and coupons on some stores. I'll have an affiliate link down below where we can both get $50 if you install and activate the add-on on a supported site and then make a $50+ purchase. And I'm just bringing this up because this is something that I have actively been using. I've been getting into 3D printing quite a bit recently, and by stacking a 30% cashback promo and some coupons over at AliExpress, I was able to get quite a bit of filament at around $5 per kilogram spool. It does take a few months for the cashback to hit your bank, but it certainly adds up. And with that, that is all I have for you guys today. As always, thanks to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you all around.